So much has been happening now. Unfortunately, and you'll hear why in a minute, I have to go to my phone for this because I couldn't remember. It's Injury-a-Palooza this week. There are injuries out the yin and yang. Every team's been affected. This was at 4:30 this afternoon. So there's probably been 3 more since. Check this this list out. Now I'm just going to read it in the order it is. Nothing special. Sorensen, Cleary, Moses, Sandon Smith, Tino, Payne Haas, Reece Walsh, Cartwright, Collins, Cotter, Murray and Piakura, both almost certain to miss this week. They'll be all the same. Oh my word, have you ever seen an injury crisis like this before?
Well, then you've got to add Dale Finucane broke his face on the weekend, Royce Hunt tore his calf, Toby Rudolph with a syndesmosis tear. There were injuries up the wazoo, and this is what happened. Like, people are turning around going, how do we make it so you don't get injuries? You can't. It's a contact sport. It happens. Like the Toby Rudolph tackle, he just got his foot caught. You know, people are saying, was it a hip drop? No, it wasn't. Like, John Bateman had his legs, Rudolph's foot got caught, Bateman didn't lift his studs, he just fell on the back of his leg. It's unfortunate as it comes, and, you know, the other thing that's, you know, where people are saying, oh my God, like the injury, it's just because of the names. It's like, it's Reece Walsh, probably a top 3 player in the game. It's Payne Haas, best forward in the game. It's Nathan Cleary, arguably best player in the game. It's Mitchell Moses, who's pushing for Origin honours. So, wasn't the best weekend, and for those of you at home who absolutely adore and you know, look for the whole week to play Supercoach, my hat's off to you. I actually didn't have anyone in there that got injured, so my team's pretty sweet.
Well, a couple of my draft teams had a few players out, but that's okay. That's the least of our concerns. That's a huge player list, and it's an unusually large list of injuries in a weekend of football. But you look at them, there's nothing. I mean, Reece Walsh was an accident. It was a head clash. Fractured eye socket. Same with Dale Finucane. So there's a common denominator. Maybe there's something there. But Tino did his ACL in an innocuous moment that you had to go back and see. And you're like, oh God, he is hurt. You had Sorensen. You had Cartwright do ribs, evidently. Sorensen did something. I couldn't even tell you. And I watched all the games this week. I know a couple of them came off. Like Nathan Cleary came off with 10 minutes to go. The only reason I realised is because I had him captain in Supercoach. So I'm like, oh, they've hooked him to give him a break. Get him ready for next week when they play the Roosters.
That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah. So anyone saying, oh, injuries are up this year, if they were all ACLs or they were all concussion related, you could say, well, there's something here. It's just the unlucky of the draw. It sucks, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. This is what happens when you play a sport like Rugby League, the greatest sport on the planet.